These children are all desperately ill. They have different conditions, but one factor unites them all. They're severely malnourished. There's an epidemic of hunger in Yemen, and it's out of control. Wars, revolution and political unrest are hiding a greater killer than all the violence, and Yemen's youngest are suffering the most. Uday Adnan is typical. He's less than half the weight he should be. He's just one of a trickle of dying babies who makes it to the capital, Sana'a, and the only specialist unit in the country, run by Dr. Ahmed Shamsan.
There is no fat, subcutaneous fat, also muscles of buttocks. There is atrophy here and here. This is a case of severe malnutrition.
Thousands upon thousands aren't so fortunate, though. They're simply wasting away. Yemen needs help.
We see in certain places level of acute malnutrition up to 30%. 30% is as high as the levels we found in Somalia, the Horn of Africa, as we are currently finding in the Sahel. So the problem of malnutrition is just an incredible big one here in Yemen.
Squalid camps are now home to hundreds of thousands fleeing fighting in the north and south of the country. Over 10 million people, nearly half the population, is going hungry. Food prices doubled in a year. There's no end in sight.
The insecurity caused by fighting in various parts of Yemen is one of the reasons why malnutrition is such a big problem. The United Nations estimates that 300,000 children under the age of 5 are in grave risk of dying from malnutrition and related illnesses. Indeed, they say that whatever they do this year, tens of thousands will die for certain.
Children living in these camps rarely get the sort of nutritional food they need. Their parents are stuck in a downward spiral of poverty and insecurity, displaced in their own country that's largely at war with itself.
Only God knows what will happen. There isn't any security or safety. We are going to stay here until we find a better option. They are refusing to help us, and there is nothing we can do about it.
The United Nations says the world must look beyond the political changes that are taking place in Yemen and act now. Malnutrition is a slow-burning plague that generations cope with until they can't cope anymore. This country is almost burnt out. Stuart Ramsey, Sky News, Yemen.